Hello and welcome. In this clip, we're going to look into a few rhythmic formulas in Konnakkol. And when I say a rhythmic formula, what I mean is that there is a certain conduct or a certain order of how the rhythm is laid out. But we can also use different numbers following the same rules of the formula and create many different variations. In this video, we are going to look into both the geometry and the math behind those formulas. If we look at the math, it will always be very beneficial and very helpful for us to look at the smallest number that will fit a certain formula. Let me give you an example. Here's a very simple formula we can start with. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Notice that we have a reduction starting from the number 4, the number 3, going to number 2, and then the number 1. And I like to call this reduction a V shape. We have 4, then 3, then 2, and then 1. But this is, of course, not the end, because we have the number 1 appearing another 2 times. We have 1 plus 1 plus 1. So in this case, the letter Y will illustrate this formula very well. 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. So we have a reduction, and then the smallest number comes back 3 times. Just as a side note, there are very many rhythmic formulas in Konnakkol, and they take different shapes and forms. So we can have a V-shaped reduction formula, we can have a Y-shaped formula, we can have an A-shaped, or you can also say an inverted V-shaped formula where the rhythm is expanding, and also you can have an X shape, which means that we have reduction followed by augmentation or expansion. Trying to visualize some of these formulas can help us a great deal, I feel, in the understanding of Indian rhythms, because it is both mathematic and geometric. Now let's come back to the Y-shaped formula that we spoke about earlier. We can say that the number 12 could fit on a 3-beat cycle if every beat is 4 subdivision. In Western notation, we will call this 16th notes, or in Konnakkol, we will call that Chatusran Adai. The subdivision is also called matra. So every beat will have 4 particles, 4 subdivisions, or you can also say in the Konnakkol language 4 matras. Therefore, if we just wanted to establish the beat cycle and the subdivision, we will come up with something like this. Takadimi, takadimi, takadimi. 3 takadimis will give us 12. Now let's try and see how we can put this formula into practice. For the group of 4, we can say takadimi. For the group of 3, takita. For the group of 2, taka, and then for the group of 1 we can say ta. And remember, we have 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And this should fit on one 3-beat cycle. 1, 2, start. Taka dimmi takita taka ta 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 ta. What we could also do is isolate each ta or each first syllable in every group. 1, 2, start. Ta, 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 ta. Again. Ta, 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 ta. Now, if you noticed the chart below, we had 1 quarter note, followed by a dotted 8th note, followed by an 8th note, followed by 3 16th notes. A quarter note equals 4 16th note, or 4 matras. A dotted 8th note equals 3. An 8th note equals 2, and so on. If we wanted to double the length of this composition, we will use not only the syllable ta, but we will use the syllable ta, ka. And what I mean by that is now we will have, instead of one quarter note, we will have two quarter notes. The first indicated by the syllable ta, and the second by the syllable ka. We will also double the dotted eighth note. First dotted eighth note, we will say ta, and second ka. And we will do the same for the eighth notes. And when we get to the 16th note, we will say taka, 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 the smallest component 3 times. And so if we come back to the geometry, we can see how this works in this case as well. Ta, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, taka, taka, taka. In this case, we will have 4 plus 4, and then 3 plus 3, and then 2 plus 2, and then the number 2 repeats 3 times, which will give us a total of 24 syllables, or you can say 24 subdivisions or 24 matras. 24 syllables will fit very nicely in 3-beat cycle if we have 2 3-beat cycles. Each beat divided again into 16th notes. Ka, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka, taka, 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 ta. As you can probably see, this will work in any number as long as we stay in 3-beat cycle, and the subdivision will be 4 matras per beat or 16th notes. For instance, if we have 3 times quarter note, 3 times dotted eighth note, 3 times eighth note, and then takita repeats 3 times in 16th note, it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Ta, ki, ta, 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 ta. Now let's try in 4. Ta, ka, di, mi, 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 ta. And how about 5? Ta, di, gi, na, dom. 1, 2, start. Ta, di, gi, na, dom. 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 Ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta. 7, which could be takadimi, takita. 1, 2, start. Ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ki, ta, 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 ka, di, mi, ta, ki, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ki, ta. And let's try even in 9. Taka, di, mi, taka, takita. 1, 2, start. Ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ka, ta, ki, ta. It is also very interesting to note that this formula will work in another way. The syllable group can also correspond to the beat cycle. In other words, if we had the syllable group takadimi, 4, the same composition will also fit in 4-beat cycle. 1, 2, 3, start. Ta, ka, di, mi, 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 ta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, start. Ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ki, ta, ka, di, mi, ta, ki, ta, taka, 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 di, mi, ta, ki, ta, ta. And the same goes for any number. While it's very important to try different numbers and different variations of this formula, it's also extremely important to notice where you need to make a rhythmic adaptation. We spoke about the concept of adaptive rhythm in earlier clips. But to recap, being able to adapt rhythm to a certain beat or a beat cycle is extremely important to our rhythmic understanding. It has a lot to do with the way that you feel the rhythm. If you are feeling a certain syllable or a certain group of syllable as down beats or as up beats. Let's try to take the number 5 and apply it as we did on this Y-shaped formula. The syllable group Tadiginadom is 5, but of course the beat cycle that we are in right now is 3-beat cycle, Rupa Katala. We will have to adjust or feel the syllable Na as a downbeat. Ta, di, gi, na. The syllable Na falls on the first beat of the second 3-beat cycle and should be felt as a downbeat. Let's move on. Ta, di, gi, na, dom, ta, di. The syllable di will fall 1/16th note before the first beat of the next cycle. So it should be felt as an anticipation or a syncope before that beat. Di. When you practice this composition, it is very important that you go through each one of the first beats and see if you got something before, after, or on the beat, and try to feel that location accordingly. Developing that adaptive muscle in your rhythmic understanding is extremely important, and especially if you are an improviser. Being able to adapt to rhythm will both assist you in playing and also in listening to other people play. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please come back for the next episodes where I will speak more about rhythmic formulas, how we can understand them, and also how we can create our own. Thank you so much, and see you in the next clip.